Hi, I'm Andy Partington. I'm Commodore of Hayling Island Sailing Club, and we're at the time of the year when, as a sailing club, we're approaching our annual general meeting. And one of the things we need to do as flag officers is really give a report back to our membership on how things have gone this year and some of our plans for next year. And hopefully you will have seen the reports for the AGM landing in your emails over the last few days, and please take the time to have a look at that. There's a lot more detail about what's happening in the club and what our plans are, but we thought we'd put this little video together just to give you some of the highlights of what's happened in 2020 and some of our plans for 2021. So there's really three things I want to talk about. One is the team that we have here. The other is on the house side and our sort of food and beverage operation, and then the other is about sailing. At the end, we'd really like to sort of make an ask to you, to the membership, in terms of how you can support us in driving those things forward. So the first thing, let's talk about the team. And when I talk about the team, I'm really talking about the volunteers that are on the committees, the staff, and everybody that contributes to running this club. And there's been a Herculean effort put in this year to make things happen in this constantly changing environment that we have, driven by the COVID pandemic. So a huge effort has gone, and I really need to make a big thanks to everybody that's been involved in delivering that. But don't underestimate the power of that team. We have a very, very strong team, and I'm pleased to report that we have stability in that team as well, in that all the key flag officers are continuing on till next year. And I think that's a key message to the membership in terms of, you know, we've had some really big challenges this year, and that team is helping us move into next year and really expand what we're doing next year. So I'm going to talk about team, the sailing and the house, but I guess just one thought before we sort of go into those subjects. It has been a challenging year, and the fuel that drives us into those challenges is really been the positive support that we've had from the membership. So if you've got ideas, if you want to get involved, give us positive, thoughtful feedback, because that drives us forward and that makes this job worth doing. Let's talk about sailing, and first of all let's talk about the racing side of our operations. So this year there's been a lot of focus on delivering a great variety of racing for our members, and a real focus on our members, and we all had a lot of fun in the harbour, and I've been to some marks in the harbour that I've never been to before, and I think a lot of other people have enjoyed doing that. But the focus has definitely been on getting great racing for the members, and also you've seen a number of key innovations. So we've got digital sign-on now, which is a great step forward in terms of improving efficiency. We've had a focus on racing at high tide, and other innovations that really I think we've had an excellent season's racing that everybody's enjoyed, but it's, you know, very much focused on the membership. Now, when it comes to sailing events and big sailing events, you know, we pride ourselves at Hayling Island Sailing Club of being one of the best clubs in the world at putting on great events. So this year has been a real challenge for us in terms of, you know, we had to make a hard decision about not running a lot of events in the sort of latter part of the year. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on that, because I think that's sort of water under the bridge. It's a decision that we made, and it was the right decision for the club, and it allowed us to focus on our membership and also focus on planning for 2021. And I want to give you a flavour of the sort of thing we're planning for 2021. So it's our intention to run a full racing programme with events next year, and we are making the assumption that all of those events will need to operate under COVID restrictions. So we're looking at the capacity of the club, we're looking at the systems, we're looking at the car parking, we're looking at how do we put on a great event, how do we welcome visitors, put great events on, but do it safely and sympathetically for our membership, so the membership get a benefit of those events, but it also doesn't compromise, you know, the experience of the club for our members. So that's really the focus for 2021, and you'll see a lot of work going on in that area to get us ready for a great season next year. One of the highlights for me this year on the sailing front has been to see this huge resurgence in windsurfing and board sports in general at Hayling Island. You know, on some days there's been like 50 windsurfers out charging up and down the trots, having a great time. Even I've got out there. Let's talk about our house operation. And when we say house, we're really talking about the food and beverage part of the club, and how we make that work in the best possible way. Now, you will have seen a lot of communications this year about change in that area, and we had to make some very hard decisions this year to restructure our operation, because really we had an operation that was really one size fits all. It was one operation, one team delivering to events, restaurants, snack bar, and really that whole one size fits all wasn't working as effectively as we wanted. It wasn't delivering in terms of being cash generative, it wasn't necessarily the right quality, and it really wasn't meeting the needs of our membership. So we had to make a significant change, and we've been bringing back those house services gradually and carefully, to be honest, because we need, there's sort of three criteria there. One, as we bring the services back, we need to make sure there's demand for it. We need to make sure you, the members, are responding and participating and providing the demand for those services. We need to make sure it's cash generative in terms of we can't afford to bring back services that don't make a surplus. And thirdly, it needs to be the right quality. So we've focused on bringing back services, making sure it meets all those criteria. But for 2021, we're really looking at taking a very fresh view on this. And I think the easiest way to describe this is we look at the house services in really four areas. One is events. How do you put on the very best events and serve many hundreds of people with great food and drink, etc., in an efficient way when we've got a big event on? And that requires a particular operation, a particular set of skills. We have the restaurant. And there is no reason that this restaurant shouldn't be the best restaurant in the Solent. And that is our mission, to create that. And that requires, again, a team or skills to make that happen. They're not the same team necessarily in skills as making an event happen in the right way. And then, of course, we've got the snack bar and the bar that also need to deliver to the members' expectations. So that's how we're looking at the whole house operation. And it's, we're in a transition phase now, and hopefully that gives you some sense of the vision that we have for this operation and how we will move it forward in 2021. Hayling Island Sailing Club is ready to celebrate its centenary after many years of preparation. So watch out for the launch event in November, and also watch out for some great merchandise that's going to be available before Christmas.
And don't forget to come and join us for One Pot Wednesday, cooked by our members for our members.
Our Sunday lunches are proving to be a great success. The next will be on the 8th of November. Call the office to book for the 12 o'clock or 12:30 sitting.
Come and sail your boat this autumn. There's no better sailing than the autumn series. There's no boats in the harbour, the moorings are gone. Best sailing of the year. Roast lunch afterwards, and then culminating in the Christmas cracker just before Christmas.
So that's it, that's our video AGM report. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to get more details, please do read the emails that we sent out last week, which give you a lot more background. Just one last thought from me. We made it clear in a lot of our communications that the club has had a real challenge this year, especially with the revenues that have been down substantially. And I just want to thank all the members who've continued to pay their subs, even during this time when we haven't been able to always deliver all the services that you may be accustomed to. And I'm happy to announce that in 2021 we're going to keep the membership fees flat. So that's it. Thanks very much for listening. Hope to see a lot of you at the club or some of you online at the AGM next week.